Hello, this is Brian with Change is Good. We're going to go through another box of half dollars. We've got 50 rolls to go through, and we'll be looking for silver proofs, NIFCs, or coins not intended for circulation, foreign coins, mint errors, and varieties, such as double dies and repunched mint marks. And you know the routine. We're also going to be looking for anything to fill slots in these albums over here as well. All right, box. Let's see what you got on top. Looks okay. Now let's get into the rolls. We're on the first roll and we already have a double die. Let's check it out. Here we have a 1973D. You can see extra thickness here in the date and the motto with splitting here at the top and bottom serifs of the letter G. Here's a close-up of the motto so you can see the splitting here at the top and bottom serifs of the G. And if you look at the word trust, you can see splitting here at the bottom of both legs of the R and the top of the U on both sides. This is DDO number 4 on Variety Vista and is very similar to DDO number 3, but DDO number 4 has a mint mark placement that is below the neckline. All right, back to the box. Well, the box got cold for a while. We're now on roll number 19, and we have an NIFC, or a coin not intended for circulation. It's a 2005 P with a mintage of 3.8 million. All right, back to it. Well, as you can see, this box has not been very nice. We're now on roll number 45. We have another NIFC. This time it's a 2016 P with a mintage of 2.1 million. Well, that's 3 finds so far with 5 rolls left. Will there be an empty box when we come back? Let's find out. Yep, a cruel and empty box. Rather than do a recap of the 3 finds in that box, let's just go through another one. Okay, let's hope box number 2 is more promising. All right, we'll see what happens. Well, as you can see, this box has been unusually tough. I had nearly lost all hope in finding anything at all, but we're now on rule number 39. We have a double die. Let's check it out. Under the scope is a 1971D. You can see extra thickness here in the date and the motto with a small split here at the bottom serif of the letter G. And when you look at the word trust, you'll see extra thickness in the lettering with splitting at the bottom of the first T, the bottom of both legs of the R, and the top of the U on both sides. Here's a close-up shot so you can see the splitting here at the bottom of the R and the top of the U. You also see the T in Liberty is extra wide with wide and split serifs on both sides. This is DDO number 4 on Variety Vista, or the FS101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. This variety is notoriously confused with other varieties on this date, so I recommend looking at varietyvista.com and look at the pictures to see the differences. There are 3 easy ways to avoid confusion, and one of them is to look at the spread here in the word trust. The splitting goes straight up and down instead of at an angle. The second way is to look at the mint mark placement, and the third way is to look at the shape of letter I over in the word N. All right, back to the box. Well, 50 rolls down. Let's do a recap of this amazing, life-changing box. Of course, I'm kidding. Let's start box number 3. Well, they say the third time's a charm. Let's see if that holds true in this box. Maybe. There's a 40% silver right there. 68 or 69. That's a good sign. All right, let's get into the rolls. We're now on the 4th roll with the silver on top. Looks like a 68D. Let's open it live and hope there's more inside. No, just the one. It's a good start to the box. All right, let's keep going. As you can see, another tough box. We're now on rule number 47. We have a repunched mint mark. Let's go to the scope. Here we have a 1971D. If you look at the mint mark, you can see a deep split here at the top left corner. This is RPM number 2 on Variety Vista. All right, 3 more rolls to go. Let's get to it. Well, even though we had some silver in that last box, we're now 3 boxes in and haven't really found much. We're not giving up yet. Let's do a 4th box. All right, box number 4. How good or bad could you possibly be? Only one way to find out. I don't see any silver. Looks rather normal. Hopefully that's a good sign. Let's get into it. We're now on roll number 12. And we're on the board with an NIFC, or coin not intended for circulation. It's a 2002P, a little bit of ring of death on it, and a mintage of 3.1 million. Well, it's a start. Let's hope it gets better. Roll number 17. We have another NIFC. This time it's a 2010P with a mintage of 1.8 million. All right, let's keep going. We're almost halfway through the box. Roll number 24, we have a double die. Let's go to the scope. Under the scope, we have the reverses of two different 1972Ds. The top example is a regular die. The bottom example is DDR number 2 on Variety Vista. As you can see, the bottom example is slightly thicker lettering, and if you look at the bottom serifs of the S's on the bottom example, they're a bit more rounded compared to being narrow and sharp on the top example. Another method of identifying this variety is to look for notching at the bottom right corners of lettering in the word America. You can see those notches pretty clearly here on the E and on the R. All right, back to the box. Roll number 30, we have another double die. Let's take a look. Here we have the reverses of two different 1973 Philadelphias. The top example is a regular die. The bottom example is DDR number 2 on Variety Vista. As you can see, the bottom example is slightly thicker lettering with splitting along the right side and widened split serifs at the bottoms of the S's compared to the ones on the top example being narrow and sharp. And just like the last example, we'll find notching here at the bottom right corners of the lettering in the word America. All right, back to the box. Roll number 33. This time we have a proof. It's a 1971S, a little bit dirty, but it's got most of the mirror finish left on it. All right, back to the box. We're now on roll number 39. This time we have a double dyed obverse. Let's check it out. Here we have a 1972D. You'll see extra thickness here in the date and the motto with splitting here at the top and bottom serifs of the letter G. And if you look at the word trust, you'll see extra thickness in the lettering with splitting here at the bottom of the first T, the bottom of both legs of the R, and the top of the U on both sides. This is DDO number 1 on Variety Vista, or WDDO number 1 on WexelersDoubleDie.com, where it's considered a best of variety. It's a good find. Let's keep going. We've got an empty box. What was that? Roll number 50 had a double die too? Well, we got to check it out. Here we have a 1974D. You can see extreme thickness here in the motto and the date, with splitting here on the left side of the 1 all the way down, and the left side of the 9 on the outside curl through here, and the inside curl right through here. And if you look at the word trust, you can see heavy doubling of lettering, especially on the R, the U, and the S. And there's also a big notch here on the back side of the 4 and the date. This is DDO number 1 on Variety Vista, or the FS 101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. It's a fairly common yet highly sought after variety. All right, let's do a recap of the hunt. Well, it took us 4 boxes, but we finally came out on top. In total, we had 13 finds, including one 1968D, 40% silver. We also had 7 varieties, a 1971D, RPM number 2, a 1971D, FS 101, 1972D, DDR number 1, a 1972D, DDR number 2, a 1973P, DDR number 2, 1973D, DDR number 4, and a 1974D, FS 101. We also had 4 NIFCs and 1971S proof. Now, the 4th box was actually more of a typical box than it was a good box because the first 3 were unbearable, but that's how it goes sometimes. And unfortunately, nothing new for the albums. We're now at 64 boxes hunted with 151 out of 297 slots filled. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content and it made you want to raid your grandfather's coin collection, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have any feedback or questions about any of these finds, just leave me a comment and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Thanks again, and remember, every coin has a story. Some of those stories take a bit more dedication to discover than others. I'll see y'all next time.